His fastball was a work of art. His control picture perfect. They called him Bullet Bob, fireball pitcher. He rode his 96-mile-an-hour pitch to the Cy Young Award in 1958, a world championship, and a series MVP with the New York Yankees. Today, Bob Turley does his riding on a private jet called Bullet Bob, which he uses to run one of the largest insurance companies in America from the skies of big business to the big league mound. Success has followed Bob Turley's every pitch.
A lot of people come and say, Bob, you're a Cy Young Award winner. Wouldn't you like to be back in baseball, getting the salary that those guys are making? And I also got to say, no, I don't want to be back in there because I don't want to take a cut in salary.
For 8 years, Bob Turley made his home in the house that Ruth built. These days, home is a neoclassic palace that Bob and his wife Carolyn have built in Southwest Florida. Inspired by Italian villas of the Renaissance, Casa nel Sole has been the Turleys' labor of love for the past 5 years. It's a timeless gift to their family, friends, and community.
My wife, Carolyn, is the one that designed this house. I mean, she's the interior decorator from the inside, from the outside, from the landscaping, from everything goes on.
He gives me a lot of good feedback. But no, basically, he makes the money and I spend it.
You can have all the money in the world. You can have your bank, your checking accounts, savings accounts, and you can't appreciate this. But this is something material that you can develop, and long after you're gone, because you ain't going to take your money with you. But something like this will be around for a long time to establish and say, hey, there's what the Turleys did. And that's something that's important for me, not only for me, for Carolyn, for our kids, for our grandchildren, great-grandchildren to come, that they can be proud of something, the legacy that's left from this house.
The saga of the pitcher who became the wealthiest ex-player in the country began in the playgrounds of East St. Louis, Illinois.
We were very lucky that we had some businessmen that belonged to the Junior Chamber of Commerce, and they started one of the very first Little League programs. It wasn't known but as Little League then, but I was 10 years of age and played quite a few years in that, and then just grew up playing baseball.
After breaking in with the St. Louis Browns, Turley's big break came in 1954.
It was in 1954 at the end of the season in October, and I was sitting home. My first son was born, Terry, and I was sitting there holding him in my arms, and I was feeding him, and all of a sudden, and watching the Late Show with, I think Steve Allen was that time, and watching the Late Show, and all of a sudden, your picture flashes on the screen saying I've been traded to the New York Yankees. I couldn't believe it. I jumped up and screamed and yelled. I was so excited about it. Holy smokes, I mean, Bob Turley from East St. Louis, I'm pitching for the New York Yankees. It's an unbelievable feeling.
His career in pinstripes peaked in 1958 when he was 21-7. Bullet Bob led the Yankees to a 7-game series victory over Milwaukee. He won the series MVP. 4 years after winning the Cy Young Award in 1962, Turley was traded.
I love the Yankees. I think the Yankees like Bob Turley because he did a little bit more than just pitch. He did a lot of good things for the baseball itself and also for the New York Yankees. I was really honestly looking at it as a career to stay on coaching with the Yankees. During that period of time, it was kind of a shock to me because I really thought the Yankees would stay in touch with me. I didn't get into baseball, didn't stay in baseball with the Yankees, but now as you mature a little bit, you understand some of those things. But, you know, when you're in the middle of a ball club, you know everybody, you love it, you kind of think you'll be there forever, which is not true.
If nothing lasts forever, the Turleys are at least hoping Casa nel Sole will last a long, long time.
We're in the great hall of the house. It's 28 feet high where you see the painter up there, and that is Michelangelo's Zach picture, or Zachariah, whichever name you go by. Okay, well, it's sure going to be beautiful up on the ceiling inside the house.
I hope so.
A lot of people say to me, well, Bob Turley, you've been a baseball player, World Series, you made a lot of money, and that's how you afforded this home. Well, you know, I played in the 1955 World Series against the Brooklyn Dodgers, and the check that I received from the Brooklyn Dodgers would not have bought this tree right here in front of you. What has been put into me all my life is the desire to want to win. The desire to want to excel, to do something special in life. Just not to go through life as just another ordinary guy, goes work 9 to 5, gets a check, Goes home on Saturday, goes fishing, goes hunting, and Sunday goes to church, and Monday it starts all over. I didn't want to have anybody as my boss. I wanted to be in control of my own life, to do what I want, to build a nice home like this, to have a nice jet like I have, to have the lifestyle I have. And that was some of the desires that I want. But with the thing that is really motivate me and keeps me going today, you know, I could retire today, but I won't retire because I love what I'm doing. And the thing is what we call giving. When you give to people, that's the greatest gift of all. And that's what I enjoy, that makes me feel good. It's the excitement, it's the charisma of the audience of speaking to 1,000 and 2,000 people. It's like back in baseball, the roar of the crowd.